Hello, my name is Spiro Lyons with Company.payroll, and we want to thank you for attending our webinar today on our easy-to-use cloud-based payroll and HR program. And we're going to talk about our product today, which is Employer on the Go. Right here you see we're at the home page of Employer on the Go, and you see the simple icons on the screen here. You have where we can enter payroll, view employees, add an employee, timekeeping, reporting, HR, and some other icons you see here, general ledger, and we're going to get into all of these different icons step by step. First thing we want to do is want to show you how simple it is to enter payroll. However, the first thing we need to do is make sure we have all of our employee information in. So we're going to click on the view employee icon here. Here we have a listing of all of our active employees. As you see here, we can look at all active, terminated, inactive, whatever you choose, but since we're going to run payroll, we want to run it with our active employees. And then also here is all the information on each one of our employees is all listed within this tab, within this icon. And here along these tabs are all the specific information. Now, let's press the home tab, click on home to go back to the home screen. Now, what we need to do, if we need to add a new employee, very simple, just click on the add employee icon. And this is where we would add the information here for our new employee. Very simple and easy to use. You see the different drop downs. Also, you have the upload folder right here. And what's great about this product is not only is it a payroll and HR product, but it's also a document storage product where all of this information can all be uploaded and stored, and it's all in a secure cloud-based environment. Now we're going to click back on the home tab. So now we're back on the home screen, and so we've got our employees, we've added our new employee. Now we want to go ahead, we want to run payroll. So we click on the Enter Payroll tab. Now we have a listing of all of our active employees that we're going to go ahead and pay. We've got our time period here set up. And now this is where we would enter in the hours. Now there's multiple ways that we can enter that in. We can do it manually, where we're entering in the amount of hours that each employee worked. We can export from any time and attendance program that you might already have or choose to purchase. You can enter that information, and it can come in from the timekeeping program that's within Employer on the Go. Or if you're using any type of point-of-sale system, we work with every point-of-sale system that's out there with their time and attendance program, where you can export that information directly into Employer on the Go. So now what we've done is we've entered in the correct timekeeping for all of our employees. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and preview that payroll to make sure everything's in order. Okay? So now what the system is doing is we've entered that in. Now what we're going to do is we're previewing that specific payroll, and we want to make sure that we have the correct date range here, which we do. So now we're going to click on Preview, and now the system is building those reports for us. So it's going through all the different reporting, and it's building the preview report right now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to preview the report to make sure that it's completely accurate, which we want to do before we ever send that out. So now we've clicked on the preview button, but now, as you see, we've got some errors here. The reason is we didn't enter in the correct time and attendance for a lot of these employees. However, we're going to make sure that when your payroll is run, every time that information is going to be accurate. But we're going to go ahead and anyway, we're going to go ahead and view the preview here. It's going to open up in a larger screen for us to see. Now, this is the payroll detail for this time period. Now, this is always going to be stored, again, in a secure cloud-based environment. So what we're going to do, So we're going to scan the report for its accuracy. Now we're okay with the reporting, and we're going to go ahead and run that payroll. So we've done that. And now, we're going back to preview to make sure everything's in order, which we've just checked for the accuracy of it. So again, we're building those reports. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We've already viewed the payroll, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to approve the payroll. Okay. Now we're going to make sure that we have the right date range again, which we do, and we're going to go ahead and click on Approve. Now that's how easy it is to run payroll through our Employer on the Go program. So again, you see it's very simple with simple to use icons. Now, when you have approved that payroll, that is now going to go and it's going to be viewed by our payroll professionals in the office. And before we actually submit this, we're going to check it one more time to make sure that everything is completely and 100% accurate. So now we've shown you how to go ahead and run payroll. Now let's view some of the other tabs. As you see here, we have this is where our timekeeping tab is, and where any of the products that you use for time and attendance, where when you export that information, that's where it's going to be kept. Here's where you see some of the reporting icons. We have a quick report tab. This is where your payroll documentation is, and this is a great feature here, which is our report wizard, where you can actually create custom reporting here. And as you see, if you need any general ledger reports, human resource reports, also you can run some reports for the Affordable Care Act, which if you're interested in running. And then again, we have our payroll reports, and then we have various time and attendance reports that you can run. Okay? So now we are looking at some of the other tabs here. Here's where we have our HR tabs, which is HR here, and then the HR Support Center tab. Now, this is where your HR information is going to be stored on your different employees. So if you have any hard copies of any HR information on your employees, this is where you can save that documentation. So instead of having it in a paper environment, it's now going to be stored once again in a secure cloud-based environment. So it's always going to be, this is where that's going to be stored. You can access it at any time from anywhere. The HR Support tab is if you require any HR information, here's where you're going to go. It's got a knowledge-based system. There's training, education, quick guides, benefits, a resource center. This is where you can, if you choose, you can create your own employee handbook specific to your business. The information that you can access is going to be based on your specific state that you're located in, and you can pull down that information, or if you choose to, you have the ability to create your own specific employee handbook. Okay, now we're back on the home page. Now here we have the General Ledger tab. So let's say if you're using QuickBooks, this is where you can export that General Ledger information. Okay, now going across here, we're going off the dashboard. Now we're going to look at the payroll and HR calendar. This is a great feature as well. This is where you would enter in all of the days that you're going to be running payroll and any other pertinent information for any of these dates. For example, you can put in, as you see here, bank holidays, any anniversaries, birthdays, and any information you need, you can enter here into the payroll and HR calendar. A great feature about this as well is when you have a holiday coming up, you can access this and you see if by any chance you might be closed on any days due to holidays, you might need to call that payroll in, or excuse me, you might need to enter your payroll in prior to that holiday to make sure that the payroll is run and your employees are getting paid. Okay. The next tab is the charts and graphs, and these charts and graphs are going to be specific to your business. Okay. So now we're going to click back on the home screen. Okay. And again, we're back to the dashboard. Now, another attractive feature of our program is that we have what's called My Employee on the Go. This is our employee-based platform. It's an employee self-service platform, and the beauty of the product is a lot of the functions that previously had to be performed by a payroll administrator now can be performed by the employee. And there's some great, for example, any HR or electronic PTO, paid time off requests, can all be entered in through My Employee on the Go. It has time clock, benefits, paycheck stubs, W-2 information, and all year-end reporting are stored in My Employee on the Go as well. And again, the great feature of that is a lot of the functionality is now put on the employee, and there's much more interaction between the employee and the employer, and again, it takes a lot of that off of the payroll administrator. So this, along with the other features of Employer on the Go, gives you a complete payroll and HR solution which can benefit any type of company, whether you have 3 employees or whether you have 3,000 employees. Our Employer on the Go program is going to satisfy all your payroll and your HR needs. So again, I want to thank you for attending our webinar, and thank you very much.